Hello and welcome to pmblounge.com. This is Lounge Fever, wherein we tackle your burning questions. We are taking one more questions from the collect requirements process, and I thought it was an important question to take up, so I'm taking this. When is requirements collection complete? Or in other words, when can you know that you are good to close the collect requirements process? So you have applied all the tools and techniques, all 500 tools and techniques that we have talked about, right? There are a lot of tech tools and techniques in the collect requirements process. I'll share a link to all those, the entire playlist that contains all those videos that we have discussed on collect requirements already over here at PMP Lounge YouTube channel. By the way, subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. So, I'll leave the link to the entire playlist in the description. You can go over and kind of refresh your memory on what collect requirements is. So when you are applying all those tools and techniques, right, you have applied all of them, you're done with it, you have spent good 3 weeks to 4 weeks time in collecting requirements from 200 different stakeholders. Now you have a large document, right? A 20-page document with all the requirements. Now, is that a document, is that a complete document? Are those your requirements? Can you start off with your work? Is the collect requirements process done? Well, that is what we are going to answer in this video. So keep watching. Hopefully soon. When is your collect requirements process ending? Hopefully soon. Well, here's the key to answer this question. Here's the key to tackle this in on your real life projects, right? The first rule of collect requirements process is that requirements should be measurable. So all the requirements that you have collected from all your stakeholders, try to answer this question. Is that requirement, is a single requirement measurable, or is it something which is vague, which is, open for interpretation? Let me give you an example. If you are working on a website, right? Let's say your project is to develop a web-based solution, a website. And one of the requirements in your requirement document says the website needs to load fast. It should be a fast loading website. Is that requirement complete? Of course not. That is not a complete requirement. If you have a requirement like load homepage in zero point 0.8 seconds or load homepage in less than 1 second, that is a complete requirement. That is when you can say that I am done with the requirement, with this requirement, right? So for each requirement, you need to make sure that you have a way to measure that requirement, right? So the 20-page long document that I talked about earlier that you have for your, for your requirements that you have collected from 200 different stakeholders, go through those requirements, right? If you have a business analyst, sit with him, go through that document, go through all those requirements and try to understand if all those requirements are measurable. If not, you need to reach out to the specific stakeholder, right? The corresponding stakeholder, try to understand if you can make it measurable. If you cannot make it measurable, probably it is not a good enough requirement to be a part of your project, right? If you can add certain measurable, any measurement value in front of a requirement, that it makes it a complete requirement, right? So like I said, requirements cannot be open-ended, right? Or a subject to interpretation. They cannot be open-ended and they cannot be subject for interpretation. Like I said, a fast loading website, that is a requirement which is subject to interpretation, right? If you're making your project is to make a website and somebody tells you the website needs to look good or the website needs to look nice, is there a way to measure good or nice? Of course not, there is not, right? So you need to make sure that all your requirements are measurable. And once you have requirements that are measurable and in place, that is when your requirements document is ready to be baseline, to be signed off, and that is when you are good to go ahead with the next phase of your project, right? So one other thing that you need to remember here is once you're done, right? Once you have the signed off requirements document, you need to make sure that when you're closing your project, you will have to prove, you will have to be able to verify and confirm and prove that all the requirements in the requirements document have been met. If those requirements are not measurable, right? If those requirements are open ended, they are up for interpretation, there will never be a case where you would be able to satisfy the all the stakeholders or the corresponding stakeholders and prove that you have met a requirement, right? If your requirements document says that the website needs to be nice, you complete your project and you go ahead for project closure, and the stakeholder or the person who submitted that requirement tells you that the website doesn't look nice, there is no way for you to prove that it is a nice website, because nice is not a measurable entity. Nice doesn't have any measurable value, right? So your all your requirements should be measurable. That's first thing. And the second thing to make sure is that you should be able to verify that, right? You should be able to verify and confirm and prove that these requirements are met in order to close a project. So that is when you are done collecting requirements. Whenever you have the entire document of requirements which are measurable, you're done with the process of collect requirements. Anything else that comes up later, right? Somebody says that the home page should load in 0.75 seconds. That is not a part of your project requirements, and that would require a change request. We have discussed change management as well. I'll leave a link on some of the videos that we have done, probably a playlist if I'm able to find one, or the entire video on change management for sure. So that will be available in the description. So that's all that we had in this video. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned when collect requirements process can be over and done away with. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/PMP Lounge, and check us out on our social media, facebook.com/PMP Lounge and twitter.com/PMP Lounge. Send your queries if you have any questions related to PMP concepts, related to the PMP exam or project management industry in general. Send that out to pmplounge@gmail.com. And as always, do check out the website pmplounge.com, your number one free resource for PMP certification and project management industry information. Thank you.